Hi, this is Johan, back with another video for you. And today it is the famous UFO landing. And it's a story from the Nordic UFO newsletter. And it's the second edition of the 1981 release of UFO articles. And the title is The Strange Print at Espevær in Bømlo, Western Norway. Before I begin, I would like to tell you about this. This is one of the best evidences of a paranormal activity. With evidence. Something landed on that island. Something incredibly heavy, pushed down into the ground and made a huge oblong circle into the ground, 7 to 8 centimeters deep. Nobody witnessed the actual event, but a lot of strange goings-ons were observed. Like dogs going crazy, barking all night, strange lights observed in the skies, fuses going off, the electricity cutting out. Something strange really did happen. On the 22nd of April 1976, the newspaper Bergens Tidende asked their readers, "Have an UFO landed on Espevær?" They referred to the print shown on the next page, which by the way is given to the Norwegian UFO organization NUFOC by an Air Force representative. And here is the picture, taken by the Air Force. Peculiar oblong circle formation, taken a short time after the event. Many newspapers followed up this incident at the following days, and many explanations were offered. Most of the questions remained unanswered. An Air Force spokesman stated that it was impossible that the prints were made by any known airplane or helicopter. But if you believe in UFOs, the explanation is quite easy. Ha ha ha. That was the statement. The place where the print was found is not easy to get to. It is surrounded by hills and rocks. No roads is leading to the spot, and no people visit the place during winter. The nearest neighbor to the spot is the Tollevik family. Mrs. Tollevik told that in October or November 1975 their dog had acted quite unusual one night. For about 1 or 2 hours their dog had barked and been very uneasy, which it had never been neither earlier nor after that night. Most people seem to believe that this has a connection with the print, i.e. that the dog has seen or heard something that night. The Tollevik family checked through the window that evening without seeing anything, but this window is directed in the opposite direction of the print. Other explanations than the UFO theory were of course offered. Some said that this was a track where people had been running. Indeed, enthusiastic joggers. A botanist from the Botanic Museum in Bergen then solved the problem. It was what we in Norway called a heksering, a witch circle, made by thousands of innocent mushrooms. The botanists were impressed by its size, but had no doubt that this was the right answer to the riddle. After we had tried to deny this through the newspapers and even named the solution nonsense, the botanists took a trip to Espevær to confirm their solution, and had to confirm the opposite, that they were mistaken. We had already analyzed soil from the print and knew this. The Air Force observation group did visit the place, and it is from them we got the pictures shown on page 5. They concluded that the print was set by some unknown flying object, and that it was a real UFO that had been down there. Remember that the helicopter in which the Air Force people arrived, a Sikorsky Sea King, weighed 16 tons and did not make any mark on the ground, while the unknown object had pressed even stones 4 to 10 centimeters down in the ground. It must have been very heavy and very large, one might add. The print was found on a slightly sloping field circled by rocks and stones, and its circumference is 63.4 meters. The print is 25.6 meters long and 14.4 meters wide. The track itself is about 7 centimeters across, and its depth is from 7 centimeters on top of the field and about 10 centimeters at the bottom, where the ground was softer, and where of course most of the object's weight would have rested as the ground was sloping. A strange thing is that outside Silkeborg in Denmark, equal prints were found in connection with a UFO observation about the same time. This print was about 190 meters long and 28 meters broad. The print was about 30 centimeters deep, and the weight necessary for making that deep prints was estimated to about 160 to 200 tons. The Danish object was observed for about 30 minutes, sending out glowing balls, 4 to 5 at a time. For a full report, contact Danish UFO groups. Wow, this is new information for a lot of people that haven't heard this story. And now there is additional new information. It was actually discovered new prints. In the spring of 1979, 3 years after the first observation, new prints were found on Åkervedsletta on Espevær, at the same place, exactly the same place. Our representatives Finn Kalvik and E. Nilsen visited the spot on June the 2nd, after having heard rumors that new prints were found on the same place as in 1976. And indeed, the rumors were fact this time. On the eastern end of the old print there was a new one. It was about the same size as the old one, but must have been placed there during winter when the ground was frozen, as the new print was only visible on the eastern part of the print. As you can see on this picture, it's kind of blurry, but you can see that there is a new print, but only according to the witnesses on the eastern part. Although it might be difficult to see the new print on this copy, it is fairly visible on the original photo. And this leaves us with another unsolved problem. Who are these visitors? Why are they coming to that particular spot more than once? Have they landed several times in the same print as some people have suggested? What do they want? We can promise you that we will keep an eye on Espevær in the years ahead. Map showing Espevær. You see southern Norway. And Bergen, Norway's great city. And it's right in the middle of Bergen and Stavanger. We have Bømlo and the island Espevær. So, my friends, if you have heard about this landing, consider that this has happened at least 2 times, according to this report. First time discovered in 1976, second time in 1979. Some kind of incredible heavy object landed and dropped off some kind of glowing balls. I think this is to be the case, as with the Danish UFO, but I don't have any evidence of this. I will now play you a little video from a documentary made about this incident, and I will try to translate along as the video is playing. outside the island of Espevær, 25th of October 1975. It looks like a star. There's some kind of a light. Several captains of several ships are logging strange lights in the skies, not looking like stars, moving. This is Espevær, the island where the UFO landing took place. Sometimes after this observation, people are coming into this place at Espevær, and they all get astonished by a large oblong circular print on the ground. Something that has never been there before. The circle is said to be egg-shaped, and it's pushed down into the ground with such a force that it created an imprint 10 centimeter deep into the ground. The circumference is about 63 meters. It's kind of an oval shape to it. The breadth of the print was about 40 centimeters. It was pushed down into the terrain about 10 centimeters. They tried to create a print with a helicopter from the Navy. But in comparison to the UFO imprint, it was no visible print from the helicopter landing. There also were other reports of strange things happening while these lights and sightings above the sea and above Espevær was going on. The power went out in about the same time frame, and also a couple of dogs reacted to something. It has to have been a UFO. There is no other explanation for this. Okay. What a great story. And a true one. With real evidence. One of the best UFO cases, in my opinion, in Norway. And now it's been over 40 years since the actual incident. And this UFO imprint has now become a tourist attraction, still quite visible on the ground. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back with a lot of more intriguing UFO sightings from Norway and Sweden as well. Goodbye.